Hi, everyone. This is Joe Riggio, your host of Socially Joe, and I want to welcome you to episode 11. In this episode, I have my guest, LIZA Marie from Now Production, or now, I had it right there, but it's Now Publishing. So basically, I'm going to turn it over to LIZA Marie right now to give her a little bit about a description of herself, and then she's going to tell us a little bit about why we should write our books now and not wait until later. So LIZA Marie, welcome to the show, and I turn it over to you.
Thank you, Joe. I'm so excited to speak with you again and to be on your podcast. So yes, my name is LIZA MARIE GARCIA, and I am currently the COO of a team called Now Publishing. We are rounding past our 4 years. We're headquartered in Tampa Bay, downtown, but we have authors nationally. This is my second venture with the startup, and I just love what we're doing. And I'm excited to talk about how writing a business book really can help boost your business and why you should take advantage of the time now.
Awesome. Yep. And I totally agree with you 100%. So that kind of goes into the first question that you kind of mentioned. But what is the urgency of writing a book right now, if you can describe that to us in such a way?
For sure. Well, first of all, I think most of us might have even heard or read or listened to this idea that there's going to be a lot of books that are going to come out of this time period, right? I mean, a lot of people have a lot of extra time on their hands to not only read books, but to write books. Of course, being in the publishing industry, we're really excited about this time because we are getting many clients and potential authors reaching to us. But, you know, what is the most significant to us as a team here? And we talk about this in our internal meetings weekly, is that if we know anything that we're faced with in this time that's right in front of us every day as we wonder about the uncertainty of when we're going to be back to, quote, whatever normal looks like, we know that life is perilous and change is inevitable and we're not guaranteed tomorrow. So what we talk about as a team is our mission at Now Publishing is to get people writing. Really, that is our mission statement, is to publish the voice of purpose. So why we think it's so important today to write a book is because we don't know what will happen tomorrow, and a lot of people put off dreams and goals. There's always next year, they say. They always say things like someday, I'll do this. So we really want to encourage people to make the someday now and take advantage of this change in their life.
Awesome. So I know you kind of mentioned and briefly about it with the thing that we're dealing with right now, which is COVID-19. So you can kind of give us a little insight, a little bit more about why have you seen like more of an interest of people trying to write more books really fast right now at this point, trying to get their words out? Or if you could just kind of elaborate a little bit on that.
Sure. Well, before COVID-19 and all this happened, when I would speak to business groups and networking and events, I would typically say the statement that we're in the content age. And that's true. That was true before and true even more now, meaning that as we know, what are we doing? We're on social media to read other people's content, right? We're, searching for videos to learn from. We're searching for online courses to learn. It's content. So before this happened, we were already in the age of content. But now since this has happened, we're hungry. The publishing industry during this time is trying to publish and produce as many books as fast as they can. And it makes sense. People are hungry to listen to audiobooks, to download ebooks, and to read books because of the extra time. So we're definitely in this, I call it accelerated, time of content, and it's important. Making the importance of you publishing your own content is really should be paramount, because if you don't publish your own content, someone else will, or you will be misunderstood from the content that's out there if you're not the one that originated it. So it's significant for sure at this time.
Nice. That's very good to know. So in what way can writing a book gain anyone new clients?
Right. Well, we specialize in two types of books. One is called your business brand book, and then the other type of book is a passion book. And just to briefly talk about the passion book, because that, to be honest, we just brought on, I think, 7 people on an online course, and I think all of them are passion books. So again, I think it's sign of the time. People that write a passion book, what they're doing is they're writing something that is on their heart, that they feel like they want to share with the world. They want to help other people. They, want to make a difference. So that's a passion book. But the other type of book, and before COVID-19, we actually had more business brand books that we wrote than passion books, is a business book that will bring clients to you. So you might have heard it be said, Joe, where people say, your book is the new business card. That's 100% true. The instant credibility that you get when you say, I am, let's just take an example. I am in the plumbing business and I have been in it for 25 years and I have such expertise in that marketplace that I actually wrote a book. That credibility that solidifies itself in your business brand book. I'm going to be different than, 20 and 30 other plumbers in my same area to that client, because I'm going to be that 1 out of 20 or 30 that wrote a book. So there's, we have this document called 10 ways to be an author and how it will boost your business. We have 10 different ideas there, but I'll tell you that we've seen it over and over and have clients that have said, my sales cycle might be 6 months, but they met with me. I'm a realtor, and they met with me. They interviewed other people, and they had my book in their car. They remembered my name. They called me. They read a chapter. They liked it. They thought, this gal knows what she's doing. I'm going to give her a chance. So it's just kind of a couple ideas there.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you 100% on that. I've actually met a few people that have books of their own out, and most of them say the same thing you just mentioned. It's a credibility item that you can say, I'm a published author, I've wrote about this topic, and I wished for you to read and learn more about what I do. So that way, that person has that item in them, in their hand. And basically, business cards come and go. I hate to say it, but some cards just get thrown in the trash as soon as someone gets them after when they import it into a CRM, and then they forget about it. But a book is something relevant that could be, sitting on a shelf, sitting on a desk, sitting on a coffee table where someone can pick it up and look at it at a different time.
Well, exactly. And one thing I was going to say, someone asked me this just the other day, how can you guarantee that we'll get clients, from this book? And first of all, because of the fact that we have business book authors, I have a couple. I have a female and a male that came out in October last year. And those are always the first that come to my mind, because both of those clients, one's in Washington, D.C., one is here in Florida State. I just welcome people, I'll tell potential clients, hey, call them, and they'll just go on and on forever about this client or that client and this client. But here, so someone asked me, how can you guarantee that my business brand book will give me clients? Well, I'll tell you one thing that I can guarantee. I can guarantee that with a well-written business brand book and with us putting the author out in a speaking event, that's an entire network that you normally wouldn't be affecting had it not been for the fact that now you're a speaker, author, and you can, tell who you are. And so it really is that is where, those of us in digital marketing or in marketing in general these days, a lot of it is about how can I get in front of people that wouldn't normally listen to me or under, I would be introduced to. So that's another way that a book opens doors and puts you in places and in front of people that you would not normally be a part of. And we found lots of success with that.
That's great. And I totally agree with you 100%. So the main question is, and maybe you can answer this a little bit more, but why don't more people write books?
Right. I think there's two things that we hear, and one of them we're overcoming. The first thing that we hear over and over with potential authors or people that are on the fence on writing is they say, where will I find the time? Right? When do I have time to write? And so that objection has been softened a little bit around what we're all in seclusion now for. However, what we still say is, as we all know, is we're binge watching and things, and I'm the first one to raise my hand that I have been wasting some of my time binge watching. But you still, although we have the time, you still have to be very disciplined to make a schedule. And what we encourage our potential authors to do is do something called butt in chair, BIC, honestly. And we say, okay, yeah, I know, I don't know if that's the most appropriate way to say it, but it is what we call it. And we say 4 hours per chapter. And we say, put that BIC time in your calendar, put it on wherever you need to, on your whiteboard, on your mirrors. And you say, on Thursday at 11 o'clock, I am BIC, and I will write, sit down, do not leave my chair, and finish the chapter. So the first thing, as I said, we try to get over is that I don't have time. The other objection, that people will have with us is they'll say, I just can't write a book. It seems like this unsurmountable mountain to climb. I never thought of myself as a published author. It just seems like it's just an incredible feat. And how could I do it? So what we've tried to do in our company is really just take it step by step and, walk the author through it, build the book from the ground up, and then publish it. And to be honest, there's so much out there now in terms of, YouTube's. I mean, I'm a mom, so I go to YouTube's for anything that I can't answer to them, and we take a look. But that, everyone should write a book, can write a book. And if the last type of book or one of the types of books we have sometimes for people that say, I don't want to be on Amazon, I don't want to publish and sell my book, but I'd like to leave a legacy. We have a book series that we do, legacy lessons, where we have people, we ask them the questions that they would like their family members to know when they're here on earth and when they're gone. It's just important, I think, again, to leave your real content to the world, if not for just your loved ones, for whoever you choose.
And I totally agree with you 100% with the main thing is time, because that is one issue that I have all the time is time. But I love your acronym that you do have to schedule some time to write, have to write these things down. But if I can elaborate a little bit more on time, how do you find is the best way for someone to start putting their notes down? Is it easier to just like brain dump like little things at a day on a notebook and then you add it up later? Or I've heard people use like micro mini recorders where they recorded themselves, or Dragon Speech to, and put these items in. And what is the format that you're seeing a lot more of?
Right. Well, I'll tell you, to be honest, we started a program in January, and they were our business brand book authors. And for the majority of them, like 80% of them are doing like the Dragon speech to text. They work with us where they'll call us on the telephone and just download the information. So that's kind of the shortcut, easy way to start recording or start writing a book. But I want to go back a step, because I think that this step is the most important to start writing. And I thought this is where you're going, and I think it might have been what you were asking as well. The most important part to start writing your book is to plan properly and to lay the right foundation. Now, we have something that we call a mind map outline planning tool. Basically, how we start is the mind map that focuses on one question. And the question is, what is my central idea and theme? And then if you're a person that does mind maps, that's in the middle of your circle. And then the spokes in the mind map that are all around like a sun, right, are all the different topics and subtopics that feed in to that central idea and theme. And what happens is we believe that books are not well constructed when we don't finish reading them. So we all have books in our home that we've started, in our car, wherever, that we've started, and they didn't keep our interest. They went on a rabbit hole somewhere. They weren't the book that we thought, and it was because all of their topics and subtopics did not feed into the central idea and theme. And we see it all the time when we're editing books with our authors, where it might be a very interesting topic they're talking about, but does not at all have to do with the central idea and theme. So it's really important. And again, I encourage listeners here, Google mind maps and Google outlines, but you really have to have a very strong outline that captures your 10 chapters, which is typically the average size of a book, that captures your 10 chapters, and then start writing once you feel secure and good about your outline.
That's great. And you did answer my question. I think you kind of hinted to the next question, or answer to the question that you can probably incorporate, but with mind mapping. But does everyone have enough to say in order to write a book, in a sense? I'm sure the mind mapping will help that.
Right. Now, exactly. We met with some 20-somethings that